little bit of spit in the air. Current will be ebbing all afternoon. Maximum ebb flow is about half a knot. Looking good, Bob. So the first race today is going to be windward-leeward. Later everybody's lining up here. Bobby is right behind him, but he gets stuck. Usually like this, the water. Others come out where there's pressure. And up to the mark. So at the moment, Alex Sims is over the middle. John has tacked just to avoid getting stuck out on the right. They make good pace upwind, but I think fleet has come back towards the center, and the mark is right here. Ian is right of center. He's coming up, and he will probably stick it out to the ley line because he doesn't want to contend with this group coming up from underneath. Bob has found himself a good spot here. I hope he can make good on the port ley line. And perspective on the mark. He's coming in. Bob's got a good spot. And Fallon, Steve Schwartz. Sparky's coming on the ley line. He's got plenty of room. Not having to pinch. Ethan sailing Mike's boat. Nice job. Bill Klein charging into the mark. Liam rounding. You can see how murky it is. Peter Andrew has rounded. All right, let's see what's going on down here. with Alex Sims second. Bob Waltz third. When I just couldn't make any speed. So they're trying to figure out whether to leave it to port or starboard.
Yeah.
So the course is Tavern Island to starboard. There you go. Wilbury in the middle of the line, right where he wants to be. Bill Klein is trying to stay up there. John Fallon is just hanging in there. He'll wait till 10 seconds. There he goes. He's going to build speed now. Speed. That tree is at this end. John's got a middle of the line start. Alex Sims has got a very good start. And Ethan, look at him, doing all right. So we have Kevin Marks on the bed. Alex and John were in the middle of the nice hole and have worked out weather on the group. And Ethan looks very strong here. We have Ian going right. Mark working up the right as well. He is very comfortable and he is laying the south end of Tavern. I did not hear if there was a change, that is in leaving in the starboard or port. We'll find out. Spark's got a good position at the boat here. So the boat's still right. Collecting over here. Dyer Ray has come across, and so that may be. Race, and we're right over Yellow Rock. Here we are at the tavern, and to the right, blueberry is going right up into the bar. Playing the point, which I'm right on here. Ray is going in close. Kevin has a little edge on him at the moment. The rest. So we have John just rounding the northeast corner of the tavern, and Ian and Kevin close behind. Steve Schwartz next, Alex Sims just behind. Will Berry has making up. We have Ian that got stuck in close on the shore here. I wasn't watching that, but light out front where John is. Must be the tires are flat. Kevin right behind, and we have Sparky and Bobby in a battle back there behind Wilbury, Ian, Ray. In the meantime, we have the leaders here. It looks like it ought to be a simple race, but it is like any other sailboat race, full of surprises. Kevin is working on John here. Nice job.
I love these kinds of.
You found the speed coming home. We've got Bobby here. Phil coming in. He's coming in for a bombing run. Almost had me. Here's Spark. He's going for it. It's a duel. Out of the way, Ethan! Wow. He's pitching coming in. Built the line. And Gaston. And Peter Andrew. See, there's it's just murky here. I don't mind saying it's pretty damn cold too. And Peter Andrew! And the crowd is at the sound alone, cheering. considering. Okay, we've got 3 today. 1.5. Mark's down at the pin end. I don't know if he's going to make it. Unsailed over him. Bud's in the middle. Alex did. He's got a nice start in the middle. Middle line, starting at 4. Bob's and Ricky. Oh, John. Nice spot. Put up the right side. Line come off the line, and the right's going back to center. We have a little breeze here. This is winding up at the east. Bobby and John are hanging out. So let's see how this works. We got Smart here on the right, keeping it pretty well. Pretty much everybody's at port. It's unusual to see multiple of us at port in this breeze. Or no, they actually have fish. And the mark is working. Thank you, the mark. Back at the game. Clean roundings here. Go Steve Country! Whoa, man! Attaway hands! That is fun. Look at you guys. This is wild. Bill Klein. Get down to the jive mark here. see what happens. Okay, we've got 3 leaders. Bobby got inside of Ian here. Ian's got a little trouble getting away from the mark. So here we have the rest of the fleet bearing down on the leeward mark. Nice turn. So there's a group out to the right. Third, almost at second. Kevin and Alex are shooting it out here. Boats are coming down. When this is the 4th race. Dunfallon has the lead again, followed close by pretty much everybody. The fleet is more tightly grouped. Blueberry right behind John, and a tight group. Ethan right in there. We've got We've got Steve and Alex. This is as Boston. We got the on-water part of it, and now the the joyous afterglow.
I'm a little bit of morning.
Now you can really focus on pickleball.
I'm not responsible for what I say. But the camper boat kept getting fucking away.
You know, who knows what you guys will do with yourselves now that you don't have Sundays all booked for frostbiting, and
there's no skiing anymore. So
that's right.
Season shut. Oh, that's right.
Season starts.
Blackfish fishing starts Tuesday, April 1st. All right, we're throwing power back.
Shouldn't call it dry sailing.
Let's check out the wiring.
Uh-huh.
Ask the wires. Yeah, it's not wires. You're not touching anything.
Yes. Yeah, you know, Spark, I truly think you're going to live up to your name here.
Marvel of living the Sparky trailer.
Yeah.
1,000 yards from the cliff. This is what you're allowed to do.
From somewhere, I feel of some current, a stream with something to say. Oh, experience is all I truly know. When hell slow,
It's just such a sad, it's a somber time of the year. You know, everybody just says,
All you silly people are happy for the spring.
yeah, that's right. And you know, this is like firing all those workers in the CIA and the nuclear force. What's going to happen to those people when they're on the loose? What's going to happen to these guys when they are left to their own devices? They're not going to be sailing anymore.
They're all going to get wet because there's nobody to know anymore. It's all the water's coming.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's a real dilemma.
your voice is strong now. Well, I heard it in a dream. All your energy growing up in me.
Oh, for the day. Yeah.
Third, Kevin Marks. Second, Ian.
Yeah, Ian. Yeah, Kevin.
Alex, how are you fast?
A couple of things. I add a lot more to my force day than I usually do, so I felt like that helps.
What does that mean? Face forward?
So I rake I had my pins down, but then raked forward.
It was just tension.
Just tensioning it. So I think that helps.
And what did that buy you?
I'm not too sure. I think it got me a little more point. Yeah.
No, but I mean, did you do that to have power in the chop?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to see if I could get point. And then I spent a lot of times like making sure I was like really flat. So that was my next biggest. And in the starts, like I felt like, frankly, I felt like the fleet was like further back than you guys usually are. I remember looking at one time, I was like right on the first line, and I looked up and saw Chris was on the second line, so I just moved forward, but everybody else was still in the back.
Yeah, you had good starts.
Yeah.
Big line stack. There was one time that I said, one of us is over, and neither of us were over.
Yeah.
It was line stack.
It felt like that.
Or you were over, but no one called it. There's another point of view here.
Sour grapes.
No, I think watch Quentin's video. There was a lot of line sag today, and I think it was because of the current and because of the small sails. Like when you pull your sail in, you go sideways. Yeah, it was hard. You needed to pull the trigger at like 5 seconds because of the waves too.
Yeah. Which feels weird when you're right on the line, but it's still works.
I think I also had a little more force day than normal. I think if you watch the video, I think my rig was a little further forward than average boats up there. I thought port tack today was so hard because of those waves, and there is very tempting to like put the bow down and like heel over, but you were going slow anyway, so it helped to be high pinched. I mean, it was the only time I think I've ever really pinched in a Dyer, but I made myself on port tack find a lane and pinch, especially on that first beat.
Just a bit of BMG.
You like left a lot.
I think the left was super important on because the current got the current was going left to right in the middle of the course. So if you came off the line and stayed on starboard, west of the channel and stayed west of the channel, and then didn't tack until you got to the end of the channel at the corner of South Dock here, you tack, you think you're on the ley line, but everyone's getting pushed left to right, and so like even if you were overstood, you ended up at the mark on the lefty. it was hard because the problem was everybody went right. If you tacked in that right corner, you were coming back in the worst tide
Go back further.
in the channel, trying to get back to that mark. And
Sorry, I have an announcement. I got redressed for the first race, so I'm actually 7th for the day.
He did the math again and erased.
It's more about your son being next to you.
were you dressed for the first race? You weren't out there
I
for the
was
first race.
helping rig the boat.
Why do you get redressed? You don't get to
Let's
sit.
have a group vote.
Oh, by the way, I've lowered participation for the season for scoring from 55% to 43%. I think that's.
Is that roughly where you came in?
Alright, so the current was best on the left. Right?
I thought it was best to get to the left before you got into the worst current.
Let's talk about the downwinds and sorting. How did you avoid the cluster at the leeward mark? What,
And by the way, we should
was
have-
the strategy there?
We should have some discussions on the rules of the boat part too. Just, afterwards.
So, at the beginning of the day, when the breeze was pretty far left, I think you needed to get to the right going downwind and just stay on the outside. As the breeze went right for later in the day, the breeze went right, and actually getting low, you could actually get down the run faster. So it actually, people who went low actually started catching up. But because of the small sails, the big waves, and a lot of boats, clear air downwind was like killed.
I was gonna say,
Because if you
going left in clear air.
if you were covered,
If you were inside the bunch, you were screwed.
yeah, and if you were covered, it's like it's not only do you have bad air, but the other guys are surfing that much more.
Yes,
So
yes,
like
correct.
it was
I
unbelievable.
surfed two slots.
Yeah, the difference.
That
So
always surprised me though, like in small sails, like the clear air mattered so much.
so much. So
Cannot be shaded.
the couple of times, the first race you saw, like I tried to go inside and I had a bad rounding and let it go. The other times I just stopped fighting for it halfway down the run, went to the outside.
I think this is really
But
important.
the key is when if you're in the outside of the pinwheel or you're in the outside of anybody, the one thing you don't want to do is round on their stern. So you're trying to give them all the boat length or even 2 boat lengths. So slow down or go wider. So what I would do is go wide, jibe early, slow, have my boom out, and just be beam reaching into the mark when they're at the mark. And now I have a choice, and basically my goal is to have a perfect rounding and be able to get up on their hip. Even if I'm a boat further behind, I'm just out of that really bad air and I am able to pinch up. Because the second beat, you had to go to the right corner. So you had good current coming out of Farm Creek behind you. The current was going to get, less and less as you got up the course because it got shallower as you got up the course. So you the right pay every time. It didn't matter what the shift was, right corner. So you had to come out of the leeward mark with a lane and being able to go to the right corner. And so you have to round at least a boat length behind and clean and high. So one race I was 6th at the leeward mark. I just went up. I was in my 3rd, halfway down the run. I'm like, forget it. And I just got out of the way and I rounded a boat length behind everybody. I got up on everybody's hip. We sailed out to the right corner. I tacked just on the ley line. I beat the 2 guys who had gone this way, and everyone had gone left. I passed them, and I won the race. Rounding 6th, and rounding 6th, and going to the ley line in the right corner. And I was
giving John the finger.
There was one race where I was that guy. It wasn't the one where he won, but he passed me. I went right.
Yeah.
I know.
How's that possible? I remember.
I remember.
I had actual luck on the left on the last leg. I'd be the most left, and then come back, and I think there was a lift or something like that. Because I feel like I was
I
in
do
trouble.
think you had a good setup today and you had good boats.
I think you would. Yeah, I think if you'd had a clean lane going right, you would have done even better.
Maybe.
Because
Oh.
I thought you were faster than I was most of the time. We were right next to each other.
I think that was the reverse.
Make this one mess for
But the other thing, and actually this was from last week, but because Ian and I had some fun at the Winter Mark last week. I had one of the best I think I said to Steve, I was like, that's just like college. But right is super powerful on a beat. So like, we were coming to a weather mark, and it's true of a finish line, the same thing. And Ian was to the right of me, and we're probably. He's to the right. I'm on port. He's on starboard. He's not laying the mark. We're 10 boat lengths from the mark, and we're close. So I ducked him, but it was one of those things where I was almost going to cross him, but I was tempted to come and lead out because like I'm a little bit ahead. But instead I ducked him because I wanted to get to the right. But I only went like a boat length and I tacked. Now the tempting thing is you duck the guy and you go ley line, right? Because you're like, I'm 10 boat lengths from the mark. I just go to the ley line. But if I go to the ley line, he tacks and comes with me, and then he lead bows me into the ley line. So what I did is I went just behind him, tacked up on his head. Now what can he do? Now I'm on starboard. He can't tack and cross, right? So I wait, and eventually he rolls into attack, and I just tack. And so I stay to the right of him. And what do? I'm like, again, I just tack right back onto starboard, and he tries to lead bow me, but we're still under the mark. And I do it again, and I do it, and I go into the mark, and I come in below. I aim below the mark, and he tries to lead out me, and I just shoot. And now he's below the mark on starboard. He can't make it, and I pinch around the mark. He ends up like third or fourth, and I'm like gone. And so I went from a place where I was half a boat length behind him, 10 boat lengths from the mark, to 5 boat lengths ahead, going downwind with clear lane. And the reason was just keeping starboard, keeping to the right of him, and not letting him get to the ley line. Because if you go to the ley line, you give that guy, and too early, you give the guys the opportunity to pinch around. And all you're trying to do is one time make them screw up the tack. So my tacks are just here, and like if every time he tries to leave out, anytime he gets too late or whatever, I can just go. The key is though, when they leave out you got to tack immediately. So like he come in and go into attack, and I attack at the same time as him. So I was never getting bad air. I was never like trying to roll and just gonna stay to the right. I'm gonna attack right back, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. So it happened in the last beat today a lot too. That same thing where like you just gotta get right. I think Bobby did it. Bobby lost, maybe you one time when he was on port.
I did what you just described.
Yeah, you did right, and he could have easily. He was on starboard. Yeah. You were coming on port. He should have just tacked to leeward of you or in front of you. Like he should never let you get to the right of him. Because how do you do that in that same situation? As I'm coming across, and Ian sees me ducking him. He should just tack, right, to leeward and ahead of me. And not even a leap out, because now he's got the bait, and he's a boat length ahead of me. So now if he can do that to me, he can go right to a thin ley line and tack. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to duck him, and I'm going to be in the sap, and he's going to make the mark. Right? So it's like one of those things when you're coming together and you're like coming close to a mark. Oh wait, right's two boat lengths advantage if I'm the guy on the right. So don't let the guy get to the right.
Take the right.
Take the right.
It's easy. It's good.
Yeah, simple.
Very straightforward. It's good. It's a great way to end the season, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, great seeing everyone. Bill Berry. Will, come on, think about it.
Turn around, let me bend over. Do something. He's looking for the 6th place.
Yeah, I saw all the scoring screwed up.
They put Alex Sims. They probably entered him under Johnson.
I fixed that. No, we entered in a whole bunch of DNSs for the season. We should have been DNCs. So a lot of people got points that they shouldn't have. I'll fix it. Anyway, so going to today. First of all, thanks everybody. Glad to see you. Glad to keep this going. Awards will be April 13th, Jim? Is that right? The right date?
Sunday, Palm Sunday.
Okay.
It's religious.
It's after church.
Sailing.
So go to church early. We'll be meeting. What time are you going to
So
start?
Frostbite will be 2 to 4. And then Jim's Wednesday, Saturday racing thing will be 4 to 6.
4 to 6 or 5 to 6.
Come here and spend the afternoon sober. Yeah.
Can you get ashes during your?
Sure, I will.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we got some holy ashes right there in the fireplace.
You guys have all brought all your stuff home. That's awesome. I love seeing all those cars and trailers and whatnot here. Rigs, please. Sales, please. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Well done, Will.
Thank you, Will. And Bill Klein, the new co-chair.
Thanks, Will. You should have kept your head down.
And we should get around for Mike, because even though he ducked out on us halfway through the season, he was there.
So, at the end of the year, like the last day of the year, we all know pretty much where we are finishing the fleet, right? You're usually a 7th place kind of guy, or a 3rd place kind of guy, or, but somebody has an awesome day. Like, every day, right? But, anyway, a couple years ago I started doing this. On the last day of the year, we got the averages. Somebody had, you throw me off with this videotape.
Well, just forget I'm here.
Anyway, so we have our handicap winner of the day. But there's somebody who did, well on the last day. Anyway, our handicap winner of the day, of the last day, I handed out a bottle of rum. So it goes Alex Sims this year.
Hey!
But that's because you've been finishing like 6th or 7th for most of the year.
Yeah.
But today you got a sweet day.
I think you poked in the eye.
There you go.
Yeah. I was glad I was able to help you do better today.
Of course, after he redoes the numbers, I mean, now we're going to...
And then back to me, I'll get it tomorrow and all that.
Finish that bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, and if you have not signed the little brochure for Doug.
Your voice is strong now. I heard it in a dream.
And yeah, this is like school soccer. All right, and everything will be fixed in post. It's still working though. Yeah, something broke up, but I'll worry about that later. One, 2, 3. Yay! So there you have it.
Thanks, Dave.
Did it actually go? Sure.